What's up, y'all? This is Visionary Tane, and you're listening to Project Perspective.
Yeah, and this is No Chill Will. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about what do ungrateful kids deserve? And then the subtopic is are evaluations in the workplace bullshit? So let's get it started. So Tang, go on and let me know, because I know you got an interesting perspective on both of these subjects.
Yeah, I guess we'll start with our evaluations in the workplace bullshit. To be blunt, I'm going to say hell yeah. Hell yeah, evaluations in the workplace are bullshit simply because I think they are demotivating. I have never once got an evaluation and was like hyped up to go to work. I was never like, hell yeah, I'm about to go out there and keep up the good work. And not saying that I've never had a good evaluation, because I have, but I strive for perfection. I strive to be the best worker I could be. And I know in evaluations, perfection is not possible. They always say things like, we don't give a perfect score because nobody's perfect. And I feel like, what the fuck? Like, why y'all evaluating me if y'all are not doing it like honestly? If you can't give me a perfect score when I'm doing a perfect job and nobody has any complaints in this job, then it's just like I think it's crazy. It's bullshit. It's unnecessary. It's demotivating. They need to stop doing that shit. What do you think, Will?
Yeah, well, I kind of agree with you to a certain extent, but you know that's how the system is set up to uh, try to maintain some sort of illusion there that you have to be able to strive and do better. You know what I'm saying? Try to increase your workflow and try to try to have that perfect attendance. Try to be on time. Try to not just do your work but help other people when they need help. So it's kind of just like I don't know. It's like smoke and mirrors. Like they tell you that they're going to evaluate you, but can the office really evaluate you when they're not out there in the field or not in the actual department store or the fast food restaurant that you work in? They are somewhere else in another city, in another town, and they come in every once a year or probably like quarterly. Can they honestly give you an honest review? No, I don't think they can. And then they get all the information from third party employees and stuff. And if you got somebody that you beefing with on the job site, you're not gonna get a good evaluation from that person.
Yeah.
So let's just say you out there, you hard working, and you outwork most of the people on your shift. You come to work every day, you pick up shifts that people don't want. Yeah, you got a bullseye on you. Nobody wants to see you succeed and move up above them. That's the last thing I would want. Me and you working in the same workplace, and you elevate above me because I said something nice about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a crabs in the bucket mentality. I don't know.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's subjective. It's not fully true because, like you said, the supervisors or managers or whoever the people are evaluating you. Those are not the people that you work with every day. Those are the people that they heard from somebody else. Like, oh, I think No Chill Will is a good worker. So then they're like, okay, well, somebody said something good, so I guess I'll put something good on here. And like they don't know the full story. And
Yeah.
just like me, I work in a steel mill, and we use inventory. And during the shift, while we're using inventory, it's good to kind of restock it so that the next person that comes in, you're not leaving them with nothing. So you restock it for the next person. And one thing about the evaluations is they don't take that into account. So somebody who doesn't restock if I restock for somebody, so when they get in, they're good. But that same person doesn't restock for me, that's not an evaluation at all, because that's the shit that people don't see. So they're gonna say, "Oh, he's a good worker because of these people, and he's cool with all these people, and he does his job, but he doesn't help the next person. He doesn't help people that do the same job as him."
Okay, but realistically though, do you think that you don't deserve to get a dollar raise because you didn't restock the shit from the night before?
Yeah, I
It
mean,
just
I would say that's part of it. I would say that's part of it because if you, let's say you and somebody had to share tools or something, and every day you're supposed to, after you're done using your tools, you're supposed to clean them and make sure they're good for the next shift. If you keep coming behind that person that they like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep them greasy, I'm gonna keep them all fucked up, and every time you go to work, you like, God damn. So at the start of your shift, you got to clean up after him, and then you want to clean up when you're done too, because that's what you're supposed to do, and it's just adding extra work for you. So I think that that should play a part in if somebody gets a raise or how much a raise somebody gets.
I
But
get
like
what
I
you're saying.
said, supervisors and managers, they don't see that shit. Like you could tell your supervisor, hey man, this guy's not he's not cleaning the fucking tools. And manager, he don't give a fuck. He ain't the one that gotta go out there and do it. And he don't know how, he'll probably just say, well, you do it then. If he's not doing it, be your brother's keeper and you do it and y'all work it out. But he's not the one that gotta keep cleaning up after this motherfucker.
Yeah, but you know what though? I think to them that's a very minute
Yeah, I think so too.
topic,
But
and
if that shit
because
happen every day.
what I'm saying though, the thing about it when they do an evaluation, all of that shit comes from corporate, and corporate only probably look for like 4 or 5 different topics. Or it's like your attendance, uh, cooperation. Are you productive? Uh, are you say efficient with what you do? And then I think the other one's like leadership, some shit like that. And they're the only things that they care about. They don't give a fuck if you flush the toilet after you shit. They don't
Yeah.
care, So the corporate structure is already bullshit, like you say in the on the ticker that they they have their own agenda that they try to push. And the thing about it is what I think about is how do these people get to the point where you're at a chairman or like a CEO or what they call it, a OOC or whatever the hell they call them. You know what I'm saying? How do you get those positions? How do I become someone working in the field and then I end up being a supervisor and then moving up? Can you even move up from a supervisor to like a chairman of the board or something like that? Is that
Um,
possible?
I think so. But I think you almost gotta be robotic.
I don't I don't think so though, because they don't want somebody that's out there that has an opinion. You have to have that
Well,
drone mentality. You know what I'm
so
saying?
that's what I just said. You got to be robotic. You got to kind of listen to and follow orders the way they say it. And if you want to be independent or creative and do stuff on your own, then like they'll exile you. So you almost got to be robotic and do exactly what they say. I think
Yeah.
that's how you get that position. That's how you keep that position.
So that
And
means that when they tell you when you elevate, we're hired from we say we elevate from within. You know what I'm saying? So that means that you have the capabilities of moving up in the company, but I don't believe that you can move as high up as you want to. It's only as high as they will allow you to go.
yeah, but that's in everything. I almost think that, and I ain't gonna say almost. I do think that, like how they say, more money, more problems. I do think the higher you are, let's say in the entertainment industry or just like a regular workplace like where we work, I think the higher you climb, the less freedom you have.
I would think that'd be the opposite because I mean, if you're the owner of a company, I mean, you really don't. All you have to do is just make sure that the people beneath you are doing what they're supposed to do.
I don't think so because I
It's
think
like,
you're still dealing with other people that's on your level. You're still dealing with, even though you own a company, you might have, I don't know. I'm sure there's still people up there. Like, let's say you own a company and a president or some shit, like Donald Trump is like, hey man, I see you got this big ass company. I want some of it, and it's still like a target on your back. I think it's still somebody that wants what you got. So it's just a different fight. It's not the same fight as the everyday paycheck to paycheck worker.
yeah,
I do think that they still deal with a bunch of a bunch of different bullshit, uh, and that like takes a little bit of freedom away from them. They can't just do what they want to do. It's still people that want what they got. If that makes sense.
yeah. I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. I guess that's above my pay rate, so I really don't give a fuck about what they got going on. I'm trying to maintain what I got, and I want to. I ain't gonna say I fantasize about moving up, but I wouldn't mind moving up, but I don't want to compromise myself. Like how you saying you'd have to be a drone or a bot or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
in order to try to get to that point. The money, yeah, is good, but like I said, all money ain't good money. So I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't compromise my personality and my mental state because I'm quite sure you gotta give up a lot in order to try to be in those positions.
Yeah, think about the entertainers. Think about P Diddy. Think about just anybody that climbed damn near all the way to the top. Them people ain't happy. Them people got people. They got marks on their back, and they just. I feel like they not really free. Just like Kanye West. I think Kanye West tried to prove to everybody that no matter how much money you got, you're still not free. And he tries to make it like a black thing. I don't think it's a black thing. I think it's people are just always like the higher you climb, the more targets on your back. That's what I think.
But nah, but the thing about with Kanye West is when he first came out, when he was average, he he had all the black people supporting him and everything. He had a lot of people, a lot of support. But as
Yeah,
he I guess evolved, or he ascended to the echelon of becoming a millionaire and buying the cars and living the life that he always dreamed of. Then to me, it seemed like he lost that nigga lost touch with reality. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really say that it's like what you were saying
I don't
that
think.
he did because his whole being changed. Like the interviews that he did in the beginning, he was pretty much like he was pro-black. He was preaching to us about unity and trying to build up the hood and trying to get out, do things, be more efficient with what we do. And then now it's kind of just like the nigga just trying to use this color to sell shit. You know what I'm saying?
See, I think I think the people who don't be authentic, the people start off in the hood and then they turn into millionaires and they hanging out with all the rich white people and then they still talk about the hood life and they still talk about giving back to the hood and stuff like that. I don't think no people be doing that for real. They go out there
No,
and be in different countries and shit and they don't give even if they do give back to the hood, they don't really be in the hood like that, but they still rap about it because they know that that's their audience.
yeah,
Kanye
that,
West, I think he made it out the hood and he started hanging out with millionaires and billionaires and started like his mindset started growing with him, and he didn't have that hood mindset no more.
man, he something ain't right with him because how is it okay if we playing the game, me and you playing the game, we know the rules of the game. But then when you beat me in the game, I want to go and tell everybody, "Oh, don't fucking play with him because he's a fucking cheater." You know what I'm saying? He beat me in the game because he cheated. So that's pretty much what he's doing. He go out here now. You want to bash the Jews and you want to do this. You want to talk about that. You want to expose the industry because you witnessed so much stuff. But when it was happening, you wasn't saying anything. You went along for the ride, but then now they kicked you out. Now you want to expose all their rules and how they do things. And bro, that's to me that's bullshit, bro. It
Yeah,
sounds
but
like you a sore loser.
but is he lying though?
It don't matter if you're lying or telling the truth. The fact remains that as long as wrongdoing was going on, you witnessed wrongdoing. You didn't say anything about it when it happened. You waited years later when they said we ain't fucking with you no more. You know what I'm saying? You get the fuck out. You ain't part of this club no more. Then you say I got something for y'all. Since y'all gonna kick me out, I'm gonna just tell. I'm gonna tell anybody that listen to me. Come on, man. That's bullshit. You sore. Your butt hurt behind it.
See, I think he did what he had to do to get to the top. And then once he made it to the top, he's letting everybody know what the fuck's going on. It's just like
But why? Why?
Superhead. Like Superhead, she fucked all them guys and then she wrote a book. Like you can't say, oh well, you knew you was fucking them guys. You knew they was treating you like this. It's like she can be in the game and then she's been in the game and she's so experienced in the game that she's able to tell her story and tell other people what's going on in the game. But when Kanye West do it, then you feel like he's a sore loser. But he's in the game. He knows what he's seeing. He's not lying about this shit. And the only way he can tell you what's going on inside the game is if he put himself in the game and actually play it.
And that's fine. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, if I see somebody raping somebody, you don't withhold that information until years later when you say you and this guy fall out, and you say, "Oh, remember that time when I saw you rape that girl?" You know what I'm saying? Just because now you don't we ain't friends no more. I'm gonna tell everybody that you raped that girl. Dude, that's fucking petty as fuck. That's petty
Yeah.
because
And you got a voice, you got a platform. Because if he would have said that when he first came out,
he
they would
been
have
had
canceled
that.
it.
Nah, he been had that. He been having a platform. How before Kanye West was Kanye West, he had a platform. The dude was putting out beats and stuff before he even got popular. He'd been in the music industry for years. It's just that over time he got the exposure because of who he was around and who he was doing beats for, and then he jumped out there and started doing his own shit. But my thing is, if I if me and you do something like how we doing this podcast together, and then we go on vacation and you do some suspicious shit, you know what I'm saying? If I feel a certain way about it or it goes against my morals, then I'm gonna say something about it. I don't give a fuck if we are cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna wait until years later that me and Tane fall out. Oh, I don't fuck with Visionary Tane no more. I'm doing my own podcast. This nigga, we split up. He doing his own. Oh, by the way, hey, I got some dirt on this nigga Tane. You know what I'm saying? That's punk shit, bro.
Nah,
You
come
got
on
it.
now. All
You
right.
got
So
it.
if I did some
You,
fucked up shit, but you knew that if we recorded like 2 more episodes, we were about to hit like $1 million. Somebody was gonna
yeah.
give us $1 million if we had 2 more episodes. You telling me you wouldn't finish those 2 episodes and then be like, "Hey man, I'm done. I got my money. I'm gone. I'm gone. I can't fuck with you no more." You will still do them
Well, yeah,
2 fucking episodes for $1 million.
yeah, but
And
what I'm
that's
saying
what
is,
Kanye did. Kanye, he got his money, and now he like, shit, I got my money, and now y'all trying to take everything because he was just speaking his mind. And because he was speaking his mind, people was like, oh, hell no, fuck that. And that's why they started taking shit away from him because he was speaking his mind. So
yeah.
I don't know. You know, I feel like we should have freedom of speech. We should be able to say whatever fuck we want. And as far as Kanye and any other entertainers, they should be able to reveal their truths if they want to, because there's a lot
That's
of
why a
shit
lot
going
of
on over there that we don't know. And part of me is like, I don't really give a fuck, you know. But
but, but a lot of times all it takes is just a little a punk ass nigga to really just to get hold of the information and then just come out with it because he feels some kind of way. You know
but
what
it's
I'm
a lot of
saying?
people doing that. It's a lot of just like I don't know if you heard about. They said P Diddy and what are we supposed to say if we don't know if it's fact? Allegedly, right? Allegedly, P Diddy's security guard. He's a young guy, young black guy. Allegedly, his like main security guard was the security guard for Michael Jackson, and they say his story was something like he was like 18 or 20 years old, and he just finished college with like a business degree, and he got his business degree, and somehow he started doing security for Michael Jackson. So people are like, "How the fuck do you have a business degree, and you're already doing?" And this was when Michael Jackson died. They're like, how the fuck are you in the picture when you don't even have like security background? You don't have
Yeah,
security experience, but you're in the same room as Michael Jackson. And people thought it was weird because the same guy is security for P Diddy, and they kind of like, who the fuck is this guy? And they say that this guy is supposed to be like the cleanup guy, where if Diddy shoots somebody allegedly, this guy will come and get rid of everything and make shit. They said he had connections to like the police, and he could say, "Hey, like if a shooting took place inside a building, he could tell the cops, hey, it happened outside, and they put it in the papers, hey, somebody got shot outside." But anyway, yeah, they tied this guy to P Diddy, and they tied this guy to Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson should get even deeper because they say they killed Michael Jackson so they could take all his money. But I mean, you could look this shit up. It's a lot of shit on it. But I'm saying all this to say that ain't no telling what the fuck is going on. A lot of this shit that Kanye West and all these other people, some of this shit might be true. We don't know it. But either way, I think they should be able to speak they opinions and they truth because they know some shit. They seen some shit.
well, at the end of the day, it don't have nothing to do with me. So whatever Diddy got going on, Kanye West, it don't affect me at all. The only thing is, you won't be able to get no music from him no more. R.
I think
Kelly,
it affects us
R.
more
Kelly's
than that.
gone. So
It affects us
that's the
more than
only
that because
that's the only effect that it has on us that we
that's not
we
true.
we that is true.
That's not true. It affects us more than we think. And the reason I say that is because a lot of young people want to be entertainers. A lot of young people want to be actors and singers and rappers, especially rappers, man. I got a little brother and a little sister trying to be rappers. Actually, I got a brother that is a rapper. I think he put a album out recently. But anyway, that's not the point. My point is that a lot of, especially black people, we see entertainers making money, so we want to be entertainers. We want to play sports. We want to sing and dance and do all this shit because we know it. We see other people making money from it, not realizing that the whole entertainment industry is all fucked up. And if you want to be a successful rapper or a singer or actor or something, then you either gotta do some devilish deeds or you're gonna be excluded from the group. Like it's a lot of foul shit going on in that industry, and people like us want to be in that industry. So I think it affects us more than we think.
Okay,
It
well,
might not affect you personally, but it does affect the the culture. I think it affects our kids because I mean, as you know, these kids be wanting to be actors and actresses, and entertainment is every fucking where. And if that's what's being taught to our kids, if that's what's being pushed out to our kids, then our kids gonna want to get in that field. And if they get in that field, then we need to know what the fuck's really going on. Just like the Nickelodeon shit, like all that shit is tied together.
yeah, that's true. Well, that wraps up evaluations in the workplace. Are they bullshit or not?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. So we got a couple minutes in between. Uh I just like to man, that was crazy. I don't know how we got on Diddy and Kanye out of that, but
yeah.
so
It just happened like that.
it
But
just happens. Like time to
yeah.
rebound.
Oh,
Time to
no, I remember how we got there. We got there because we were talking about climbing to the top and how to be a CEO and all this shit. I
right.
think the best place to be is kind of like in the middle. Like you don't want to be at all the way at the bottom when you sweeping floors and making $7 an hour, but you don't want to be all the way at the top too, where you got billionaires and millionaires trying to influence you, and it's just I'm right there in the middle where you don't have like the most
They want you,
responsibility,
they want you to
but
come to those
you still got your
elaborate
freedom.
parties.
Yeah, yeah. Truly think that the people at the top are probably the people with the least amount of freedom because everybody's watching them. And when I say everybody, I mean even if they're not a celebrity, even if they just a fucking billionaire with money, it's people watching like every move. That's what I think. And like they got to be careful what they say because some people gonna uh,
Well,
I keep going, but I just the
well, the
people at
thing
the top
about it,
they don't be
I
free.
think what you're trying to say, well, what I'm interpreting is that those people have other people that rely on them. Like if you have an owner of a company, like how y'all, the metal company you work for, they import and export things on the daily. So you have people that are making money off of this, and you can't afford for this guy to crash out or do something irresponsible that's gonna halt that flow of money because you have people that are that are depending on it, not just down at the bottom like where you're working at, but I mean like a board chairman,
Yeah,
a group of people,
yeah,
and
they got
all
to.
they have to uh, make sure that nothing comes in between them and their payroll, you know. So I
Yes,
guess they would, like when somebody fucks up and they say he catch this guy with some porn, child porn. Now it's like fuck. It's gonna bring a wanted attention to what they got going on, which is like a domino effect because you don't know how many people have different things going on that outside of that, what I'm saying, that can uh put them in
yeah,
jail or get them,
yeah. So they got to be real careful. And even if it's like a podcast or posting on social media, if they say something that people don't like, then people gonna be all on their ass. But just like how me and you got this podcast, we can say whatever the fuck we want. People don't care, unless we're
yeah,
like directly attacking somebody. So,
yeah.
but them people, they could say, I mean, I don't want to get no examples, but they could say something, people be all on their ass. Oh, and I do want to ask you a question about child porn, right? Because remember we had a conversation, and I said that if people want to watch child porn, they I don't care. It's like watch a child porn as long as you don't touch the kids, right?
Why are we talking about child porn?
Because I want to make a point.
There's no point to be made. Well, I don't participate in child porn, and neither should you. So
Yeah, I
let's
don't
not
need.
even
But my point is because okay,
let's let
well, well
let's divert from that. Let's
okay,
get on the next topic.
I'll make my point some other time.
What do ungrateful kids deserve? because I don't understand where you trying to go with child porn. I don't. I'll just let everybody know. No, Chill Will does not participate, does not entertain, does
Yeah, I
not
don't either.
encourage child porn. I
But
don't. I don't
that
do it.
that wasn't
I
where I was
like
going.
grown. I like a grown woman that stays in my house with me. That no kids. This just in from.
I'll make my point some other time. But yeah, what do ungrateful ass kids deserve? Right, that's the question. So what do you think, Will? What do you think?
What's up?
First of all, ungrateful. How do
I
you
gotta screw
determine
my
if a kid
I
is
gotta screw my
ungrateful?
lid back. Ungrateful kids, ungrateful ass kids, man. I just think that I don't know us being the parents. A lot of us, I ain't gonna say all of us, but a lot of us, we grew up in a time where we didn't have, and I think we just try to overcompensate because we don't want our kids to go not necessarily without, but without the things that we desired as kids. Not saying that our parents couldn't provide for us, but they just couldn't provide the things that the luxury things that we wanted. You know what I'm saying? So we try to make it up with our by doing it with our kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just trying to make up that gap. It may not be a big gap, it may not be a small gap, but everybody grew up as a child wanted something that their parents couldn't give. Unless you were just overly privileged, you just had like your daddy was Jerry Jones or somebody, then you probably got whatever the hell you wanted. If you wanted a black slave, then he could have got you one. You know what I'm saying?
So
Because he
what
got
makes
money.
a kid ungrateful? So if you give the kid something but they don't want it and they don't appreciate it, that makes them ungrateful.
Well, being ungrateful is the fact that you have these things are not promised to you. You know what I'm saying? So if I give you if I have cereal and you say you want cereal and I say, well, all I got is Frosted Flakes, and you say, well, I don't want that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You didn't want cereal to begin with. You know what I'm saying? I want the one with the marshmallows in it. You know what I'm saying? This
Everybody trying to eat no
that's being,
damn smacks.
that's being ungrateful.
That ain't being grateful. That shit's nasty.
Frosted Flakes are not nasty. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, I was talking about smacks.
Who the hell eats smacks? Do I look like I'm fucking 6 years old?
Oh man, shit, that's what I grew up on. Well, I didn't eat it, but it was in the house.
See, there you go. But see, but you had cereal. It wasn't like you didn't have cereal. Some people didn't have that. Some people had to eat Kicks. The one
Hey,
the
hey,
fucking
Kix was nice.
no Kicks are nasty.
No, Kix,
Kicks are
you
nasty.
put some sugar in that shit, man. That's all you
But
need for real.
some people didn't have sugar.
Well,
They didn't have sugar, bro. Some people didn't have milk. You had to get the powdered milk and put the water with it.
I don't know
See,
if I believe that.
ungrateful.
I don't know if I
You
believe
don't know
people
how
didn't have milk.
you don't know how good you don't know how good you had it because everybody didn't grow up like how you did. A lot of
What do you mean?
people, not saying that I did, but I know of people that grew up like that relied every month on what the government had to offer them as far as like with food stamps and stuff. And you had to get the Kicks or the Rice Krispies. What was the other one?
Shit, put some sugar in that
Uh,
shit too.
See, look, but there's no sugar. They don't give you sugar with the food stamps.
Yeah, they do. You can
No,
get sugar with food stamps. What are you talking about?
well,
See, I don't know. You ain't lived that life, Will. You never lived that life. You don't
when we
know.
were kids.
No, you
Uh,
can get damn near anything with food stamps nowadays. You get packed
well,
cigarettes. Anyway.
I wasn't talking about nowadays. I was talking about back then, back when I was a child. But
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying, like, you know, they used to have the milk, the powdered milk that you used to get. They have food stamps too.
Okay. So this is what
Well, probably in
here I'll say it
California,
like this because I think I was considered one of them ungrateful ass kids, right? So
probably. You still
all
are.
right. So my mom, my mom and my stepdad, they say they didn't have cable when they were growing up.
Right.
So they made it their duty to always, well, not always, but they wanted us to have cable in the house so we can watch our cartoons and movies or whatever the fuck. Now, they would say I was ungrateful because I never really been the type to watch TV and movies like that. I never cared about stuff like that. So, like I was always a gamer. Like if you ask me would I rather watch a movie or play a game, I'm gonna play the game every time because I feel like it's more interactive. Like it gets my brain going. Like
Yeah.
me watching a movie, I feel like I'm just sitting there, like brain, like aimlessly staring, and it makes me sleepy because it's like fuck, like I'm not doing nothing. Like I don't watch movies and TV shows like that. But anyway, my parents, they would always say, "Hey, y'all got cable." A lot of kids out there they ain't got cable. I didn't have cable when I was growing up, but
I didn't have cable. I didn't have cable growing up.
but in my mind, it's like I didn't ask for this shit. I don't care for this cable that y'all keep bragging about. And it was just a thing where they would just always just push it like how are you not getting good grades? Do you need me to take the cable away? And I'm like I don't care about this cable. Take it away. I don't give. So I was considered the ungrateful kid because I didn't care for cable that they wish they had when they were young.
Yeah, that's crazy because my dad didn't believe in paying for cable. It was like uh we my uncle used to have it, so when we used to go to his house, shit, we used to go over there. My uncle had cable, he had the water bed, he had all kind of shit over there. We used to just go over there and just had just big chill over there at my at my uncle's house. But I don't know, I wouldn't consider being ungrateful because I pretty much we did our chores. See, and that's another thing. I was like, kids nowadays don't have chores. We used to get an
Yeah,
allowance. We used to have an allowance. I mean, it wasn't really shit, like what, $5 a week, some shit like
yeah.
that. This slave pay. You go out there, cut the grass, wash
Shit, that's better
dishes.
than nothing.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's better than nothing. See, I'm being
Uh,
ungrateful. So
yeah, a lot of people ain't
because
getting allowance.
a lot of kids didn't get that, and they were doing real work. So it's I don't know. It's just a
I think chores should be a choice. I'm just putting that
how.
up there.
Why would you?
Okay,
Why would you?
because like that's how you raise a responsible or not even responsible. Well, yeah, you can say responsible, but I think that's how you raise a leader is by giving them a choice, right? So let's say cutting the grass, and
Yeah,
I think I read this in a book. I
I
forgot
don't
what
think
book.
nobody's gonna
Stephen.
cut somebody else's grass
No, 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 no.
because a
I
lot of
think it
times
was
these kids don't feel like this is their property. This is not their. This don't belong to them. So they feel like, why would I pitch in and do anything here, even though I'm here? Their mentality is like I'm here temporarily.
yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm
true.
saying? So why would I wash the dishes or why would I go outside and cut the grass? I mean, this is not my house.
Yeah, they right. I mean, but they got to have some incentive, and they got to have the choice, and they got to want to do it for themselves. So, like I said, we're cutting the grass. Let's say you cutting the grass, or you want your kid to cut the grass. If you just tell them, "Hey, on this day I want the grass cut," then eventually they're gonna be like, "Ah, damn, like this is bullshit." But if you kind of make it more, uh, how can I say it? If you give them like an incentive and a choice, then you could make them want to do it. So, for example, cutting the grass. Let's say the first day you say, "Hey, you want to help me cut the grass?" Like, yeah, I'll help you. So they go out there with you, and you say, "You know what? Here, let's do it together." And you show them how to cut the grass, and then after that, you say, "Hey, is this something that you want to do?" And at first they're like, "Nah," or whatever. But then you kind of make it like a job. You say, "Okay, here, how about this? I'll give you $10." Just kind of negotiate with them because honestly, that's what happens in the real world when they go out for a job, you want them to know how to negotiate and things like that. And you don't want to force your kid to have a job. You want to teach them how to go get the job and actually want the job. So anyway, yeah, you kind of negotiate with them. Say, all right, how about $10 when you cut the grass, or you cut the grass once a week, and I'll give you this. And they're like, okay. So then you kind of teach them how you want it. You teach them like, okay, this is the lawnmower. I'm gonna show you how to use it. Pick up trash, pick up branches, stuff like that. And then let's say next week comes and they supposed to cut it on a Friday, and it's Friday and the grass not cut. You don't go say, hey, go cut the grass. It's Friday. You don't say nothing, and then Saturday come and you say, hey, I see the grass not cut. You give them a choice. You're not forcing them to, but you say, hey, I see the grass not cut. And they say, yeah, I didn't do it. Then it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna give you this $10, and then you kind of you ask them what's up. You like, so why didn't you do it? Long story short, you talk to them and
Yeah.
you make them want to do it, and you say, okay, well, I'm not gonna give you $10 every day. You don't cut it. I'm gonna pay you $1 less, and you got to make them want to do it. And then sometimes you go out there and cut it with them, and just let them see that if you can do it, then they can do it. And I don't know, it's a way around it.
Yeah,
But
and
my point is,
that's too much. What you just
you,
said is too much. Rather than just being assertive and saying, "Hey, look, I need you to go out there and cut the grass."
but that's not gonna make them want to do it.
They don't care. I
You
don't
got to
care
make
about it
them.
making them do it. It gotta be you. You have to. You live in this house just like I live in this house. And if it's just something that I ask for you to do, then I mean, that within itself should just be just pitching in and helping out. Because I'm quite sure you don't have to go tell your wife to wash the dishes. You don't have to haggle with her. Hey, let's make a deal. I'm going to pay you $20 to wash the dishes. No, everybody
but
pitches in because as a home, everybody lives in this house as a unit, as a small community. We all have our own responsibilities in here in this house.
okay, my wife is different because she's already responsible and independent. You're trying to raise this person to be responsible and independent. But you don't do that by forcing them. You have to teach them how to be responsible and independent. And so if they start cutting the grass more, and then you can actually see like, oh shit,
No,
it's
I
Friday.
don't
You already
think
cut it. Hell yeah,
I don't think no kid is going to just voluntarily go out and cut the fucking grass
I
for
think so.
$10. I don't, because kids have a one-dimensional mind to where all they want to do is play. All they want to do is fucking play.
That's because
And
that's all.
so what you gonna be teaching them? All right, so you gonna have your son out there at 3 years old out there helping you cut the grass, and because I mean that's where it starts. You have to
If,
start when they're young.
well, you don't have to, but if I feel like
Yeah,
it's
you
safe
should.
enough for him, then yeah,
You should. If you're trying to develop this work ethic in him to where he wants to do it, you have to
yeah,
make something. You have to normalize it and to them to where it's normal. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I go out here and cut the grass all the time. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been doing it since he was a kid. But you can't wait until he's like 6 or 7 years old and say, you know what? I think you're about that age where it's time for you to cut the grass.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
He'll be like, nigga, I ain't about to cut no fucking grass. I'm about to go in here and play my video game.
Nah. I mean, but even if he did do that, like he has the choice to do that. But
Who's
he
gonna tell
wants
you go out there, you cut the grass? I'll be in here.
if he wants rewards, if he wants
He don't
to,
want no rewards. He say,
okay,
you don't need your damn rewards.
okay, then
I'm
that's
about to go
fine.
in here and play this video game, bro. I'll holler at you
That,
later.
that's fine. Well, maybe not the video games,
He's gonna tell you
but
peace.
it's
I'll
fine
holler at
that
you later.
it's fine that
I
he
don't get no
won't be
lawnmower.
he won't be rewarded for it.
He don't care. A lot of kids don't care about rewards. Especially if you trying to use like a ultimatum, like you do this and you get this. If you don't do it, then you won't get this. A lot of kids be like, shit, I ain't got it right now, so I ain't missing it. Shit, fuck that $10. I ain't got it. I ain't had it. So come on, you
Well,
supposed to be the king of psychology. You got a little kid running psychological games on you. He'll say, I don't want it because I ain't got it, so I don't need it. Because if I know I want $10, I know how to get $10 from you. All I got to do is go there and I tell my mom, hey mom, I need $10. I need $10 for something. Then she'll come and she'll tell you, and then you'll be like, what does he need $10 for? And then she'll tell you, and then you'll be like, well, if it's something for school, I guess I have to give it to him. Then he
well,
won.
I said $10 because it'll have to be like a recurring thing, right? Like with chores, I think chores should be looked at as like jobs for the kids, where just like if we clock in to go to work, we get paid for it. So I think kids should like I think that's a way to teach responsibility and to teach the kids to want to do it. So if they want the reward, if they want to get paid, then they got to do the work. And if they don't want to get paid, then they ain't got to do the work. That's fine. You can sit in your room all day. But
Yeah, but
at
at the
the
end
end
of
of
the day, who gonna cut that grass? You are.
yeah,
So he wins. He wins either way.
that's not. But it's not a win lose. I'll cut the
Well,
grass
kids, well, kids
and
are.
I'll
Well, kids, it's a win lose because losing would be like I got to go out here because my kids do it too. I ask them to come out and cut the grass. They'll come out there. Oh, it's hot. I'm going in and get some water, and they never come back out.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just that's just one of the things.
That's because they don't want to do it.
I take it upon myself and do it for my. I just do it myself. They're like kids. She wash the dishes because if you leave it up to them, if they do it, it's going to be half-assed. You got to redo it anyway. So you might as well just do it yourself.
See, now
They're like,
that sound like some retraining needs to get done. So if I'm fucking up at work, then somebody going, you know what? Here, let me show you how to do that shit again. You know, that's what it sounds like.
nah, this is
It's like
it's
come on, let's get it. But I don't know. I think there is a way. There is a way to get kids to want to do it and be good at it. And I think it's a certain level of like independence that would show. Like imagine your kids right now saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go cut the grass right now." Well, not now, but yeah, I'm gonna go cut the grass. Imagine you being like, "You about to go cut the grass," you know? But like your kids showing that initiative and like if they did that, you would know that they ready for like real jobs. If they showing that initiative, they want to do it, but they also gonna want a reward out of it. They ain't about to be out there sweating their ass off and then, hey, good
well,
job. Thank
But
you. It's like, nah.
cutting the grass is different from actually having a real job.
Yeah, but it
The
starts
thing about
somewhere.
it, yeah, but we're talking about a child's mentality though. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's not.
Okay.
I just think that it's like kids nowadays. They want. They have, well, for one thing, they have no concept of money, so they
Okay.
want to reap the benefits of something, but they really don't have no idea of what it's really worth. Like they'll say, okay, you cut the grass. I would be like, okay, $20 maybe to cut the grass, But with them, it's like, well, I just did all of that. You know what I'm saying? And they'll try to make it seem like it's way more than what it really is.
Well, the reward don't really have to be money. It could be, well, I know Fortnite skin or fucking the
These
video
kids
game or
want money. They
whatever.
want to be taken somewhere.
That's
They want
fine
to be
too.
taken somewhere and spend money. So that just goes back to what I was saying. It's like ungrateful ass kids. Like you try to. I feel like if I go to work and I'm paying the mortgage, I'm making sure you got water, you got electricity and everything, because that's not a necessity. Because a lot of people don't have it.
Oh man,
They
I
got,
always comparing
yeah.
ourselves to
You have
people.
people that it's a necessity, but what I'm saying is at the same time, a lot of people they go without because they have to weigh the water, the lights. Do I put gas in my car? A lot of people not living like how we are.
You know,
You
I
know what I'm
never
saying?
understood that because my parents would say the same thing. They will always compare us to people that are lower than us. How come we don't compare ourselves to the people that's higher than us? How come we don't say like, there are people out there with that's doing real good, and we could be doing better, and like why is it always people doing worse than
But you
us,
know,
and we could
but
be
you
like,
know,
oh,
you know
be
why?
grateful for what you got.
You know
Like,
why? Because you've never been up there. You've never been up there at the top of the ladder in order to be able to say you have that direct comparison. But you was at the bottom of the ladder, so it's easy for you to say, "Oh, this I know about that because that's where I came from, or I was there at one point in time, and I was able to elevate myself to this point." Now I haven't made it. I haven't made it up there yet, but I can definitely tell you where I'm at now from where I was, and they have people that deal with those situations on a daily basis every
yeah, but
month.
our kids haven't been through that. They don't know about people at the bottom.
Yeah,
So,
and you know why? Because we do our best, we do our damnedest to make sure that they don't know about that.
but
I
yet
I
you're
go
you're
through.
introducing, you're teaching them about people at the bottom, but you don't want them to know about people at the bottom. Instead of teaching them about people at the top and let them know that, yeah, y'all going to the top. It's like, why you tell them to look down instead of look up, just to prove a point. I think it's weird, man. Just the whole concept of, look at all them people down there. They're starving when you got people up here eating good, eating shrimp and lobster every fucking day. I don't know. I just
Well, the thing about it
I
is,
want to be compared to people that are doing better than me, so I can lift my head up and see what I want instead of looking down. And I think it's a little weird
how can somebody tell you about the top that ain't never been to the top?
because people
That
have
that
goals. We strive to do better, right?
a
We,
goal
we
a goal is like an assumption. You know what I'm saying? You assume something. You know what I'm saying? A goal is something that you're trying to obtain, but you don't. That's not nothing figuratively that you or something that you've actually experienced.
so
You're hoping.
you telling me out of all the movies and TV shows we can watch, we don't know what rich looks like?
That's TV. What? So you mean to tell me they're
Like,
living dead? Walking the
I'm saying
Walking Dead is outside because we seen it on TV?
I'm saying reality shows. You don't know what rich people are doing. Okay, fucking
No,
go
I have
to
no
a
idea.
go
I
fucking
don't.
go to a
But
lake and you see boats, you see fancy dining, you see all this shit. Like, how come we can't tell our kids that, like, one day, yeah, we're gonna have a boat. One day we're gonna be living like this. We're gonna be up here. One day we're gonna have a big ass house. One day, I mean, just why are we comparing them to homeless people? Why are we saying, hey, there's people out here that don't eat when it's people out here that's thriving? Like, we
because
should
we're
be.
because we're trying. What my point of doing that is to try to show that there are people less fortunate than you, and to be thankful for what you have. Because if I sit up here and I tell you about the guy flying the plane, I don't own a plane. You know what I'm saying? So I can never tell you about owning a plane or flying a Mach 3 or a Mach 4, or hanging out with Drake. I can't tell you nothing about that. But I can tell you that there are people that we may not have a lot, but the little bit that we have, be fortunate and be thankful that you have it, because there are people that literally don't even have socks to put on their feet. So the socks that you take, when you take them off and you throw them in the dirty clothes, or you lose them in the closet, or you lose them under your bed, there are people that don't even have those socks to lose. They're walking around dragging their fucking feet on the ground barefooted, don't even have clothes to put on. So I mean, that's the reason why I like to tell my kids. I have my older son, I told him about jail. I said, you don't want to go to jail. And the reason why you don't want to go to jail, but if I neglect to tell him about jail, or tell him about the people that you encounter on the streets that can possibly put you in that situation, and skip over that and say, well, let's talk about the people up here that I've never met, or that I've never encountered. I mean, that's like you're selling them a fucking fantasy. You might as well talk about Santa Claus, because that you can't sit here and tell me that you interacted with people, that a millionaires invited you to their house and showed you how they live, and but then you're saying TV is so honest. It's based on the honor system, that everything you see on TV is the truth. You know, you see people on there, but you really don't know what they're really going through. You just said it before in the last segment that more money, more problems. So why the fuck would you want to preach to your kids about being up here on the upper echelon with the rich people, when you just said that they have nothing but fucking problems?
No. I'm not saying be up there. Okay. What I'm saying is, you should, instead of preaching to your kids that
get there,
not necessarily, but instead of preaching to your kids about, hey, look down at all the people down there, we can teach our kids to think more positively. And it's like, hey, look up and know that it's more to life than this. Like it's a lot to strive for. It's a lot of stuff that we can accomplish, and we can continue to grow and better ourselves without, like, we ain't got to look at the people down there and worry about people with no socks. Like, we already got socks. We always gonna keep socks, but we're gonna keep getting better. We're gonna have more than just what we got.
But Tane, I understand what you're saying, but realistically, you have to put that in you have to instill that in your kids, that you're one decision away from being down there.
No.
Because so you mean to tell me you go to work tomorrow and you get in a car accident, that if something happens to you, and let's say your wife's not able to maintain the bills and shit, that she'd have to walk away from everything that y'all built and go back and start over. You've lost everything that you worked for. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I like to tell my kids realistically that you're one mistake away. I'm one mistake away from losing my house. If I picked up gambling and said, I'm just gonna gamble my money because I can make the money to pay my bills, that's a choice that I made, and then I'm not able to pay my mortgage, my house is gonna be foreclosed on, and then I'm right down there with the other people that I don't like say looking down on, because I don't want to look down on anybody, but you're on that level where I don't understand.
No, I see what you're saying, but that just sounds like
it's real. It's reality. It's reality, because I can go to work tomorrow and make the wrong mistake. I can get hurt at work, or I can rub somebody the wrong way, and I can lose my job. And then let's just say I'm not able to get a job as fast as I would think I would be able to get a job.
But don't that make them worry? Don't that make them worry about their security? If telling them, like,
it's supposed to make you aware that your survival in this life is based on your choices. So because when I moved out the house, my dad didn't sit down and tell me none of that stuff. He was just like, oh, you think you grown, so you go out there, you handle your business. I got out there, I started fucking partying, hanging out, not paying my bills, not wanting to go to work. So it's a cause and effect. If I don't get up and go to work because I was partying the night before, then when the beginning of the month come and I'm like, I'm trying to scrape all my money together to try to pay the rent. You know what I'm saying? You go through that so many times. It's only so much you can do. You know what I'm saying? But if I was prepared to say, well, look, you can't. My dad, what he told me when I moved out, he said, "Are you moving out?" He said, "You can't come back. You gonna have to make it work." You know what I'm saying? He told me straight up, "You can't come back." And I know in some situations, like, damn, that's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
But no, my dad did that because he wanted me to make sure that I would have my priorities straighten out and say, before I go fuck this $200 off on some alcohol, let me put this 200 over here and pay my rent, or put it to the side for my bills. But a lot of times I didn't do it because I was the type of motherfucker, I just had to learn through
Yeah,
trial and error.
that's
So, and I've lost places, and I've lost vehicles, but it took me a while before I finally figured out, that you have to be responsible, and you have to have a set of priorities. You have to prioritize your life. Yeah, you can go out and you can have fun. You can go out and you can fuck girls and all, but you can't fuck a girl if you're homeless. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're gonna fuck in your car. But if you ain't pay your car note, then you ain't got a car. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So
Okay. So I got a question, and then
yeah,
I know we got to wrap this up soon.
yep.
So, do you think it's more effective to tell your kids, "Hey, if I could lose my job any moment, and we could lose this house, and we won't have food on the table, and y'all might not have shoes, and yeah, this could happen at any moment. And I just want y'all to be aware of that." Okay, now is that better than telling them, "Hey, I'm working, everything is good, I don't need y'all to worry about nothing," or I want y'all to focus on y'all, and don't worry about if food gonna be on the table because I'm always provide that. Don't worry about if y'all got shoes. If you need shoes, I'm here for that. And just giving them this sense of security. That way they could focus on themselves and whatever they got going on, and not even have to worry about if you lose your job, y'all gonna lose your house.
Well, I think you pretty much answered the question yourself, because nobody goes around the house just knocking on doors like, "Hey, you're just one choice away from being homeless." I
But that's
mean,
what
we
you
don't.
said. There's people out there that don't have that, and we could be like that, and
Well, the
because
thing about it is, with that is, when I said it, you're kind of contorting it, because the topic was unappreciative kids. When your child or your children start to become unappreciative, those are the things. Those are the bullet points, or the hot buttons that you press to show them. I like to take my kids, and when we go through downtown, look at all these people that are fucking homeless, and they're not old people, because a lot of these kids now think you got to be fucking old to be homeless, or you got to be old for this to happen to you. No, they got people that are dying that are kids, and they got homeless kids out there. A lot of these kids don't know that there are homeless kids out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they kids categorize things, and they say, "Oh, you're old." They like, so, but what is old? You know what I'm saying? I'm 43 years old. My kids like, "Oh, you're old." You know what I'm saying? Well,
yeah, you're
I,
old.
I mean, I got some age, but old is not. I mean, that 40 something is not old. You know
Not
what
to
I'm saying? You
you.
got people that live like to 100 years old. To me, 100 is old. You know what I'm saying? You've been here for a whole century, so you've lived 100 years on this earth. That's old. You've been here through a lot of shit.
Mhm.
So I just think that I use those things to try to open my kids' eyes up and have them realize that, like, when you go to school, you have kids in school. Everybody's not the same. When I was in school, you had the kid that I guess they didn't have running water, so he he smelled like piss or whatever. You got the other kids that wore the same clothes over and over. You got some kids that just they didn't have a lot of shit.
Yeah,
But
they could be aware. The kids could be. They need to be aware of what's going on in the world around them, and not everybody's as fortunate as some, but
and that's the point I'm trying to make. All of us are not fortunate, so you should be thankful for the things that you have, because there's somebody out there that does not have what you have.
yeah, but they also should be. There are people that got more, and they should want more too.
But we're not worried about people that have more, because as you get older, if you're able to obtain more, then that's fine. Because when I was younger, I didn't have all the stuff I have now. But nobody sat there and told me, "Oh, when you get older, you're gonna obtain so much wealth. You're gonna work. You're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna own a house." No, it was just like
Exactly. That's
like
some positive
just just be
encouragement. Yep.
just be let's take this one step at a time, and just know that uh to make the right decisions in order to try to steer in that direction. Because if you veer off and going down a one-way street, going the wrong way, it can be catastrophic. I'm fortunate to say I've been through some catastrophes in my life, but I've had the support and love of family and stuff, and I'm able to sit here and tell you that I was able to make it through a lot of that stuff. I don't even know if I would have been able to do it or not, but I had the proper support of family and friends and stuff, and I'm sitting here talking to you now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a statistic, and I'm not one of them casualty stories where we're not talking where, well, damn, Will, what happened to you? How did shit go so wrong for you? You know what I'm saying? We're not
Yeah.
on that, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful because my dad told me, you know, the people you get on drugs, this is what happens to you. You go out here and you fuck with the wrong people. This is what happened to you. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't preach to me about the people on the upper level, but he could tell me that when you fucking around and you fucking around going around these going down these one way streets the wrong way, this is just the outcome. And some of that shit just it I stuck with me. So I was like, I never did drugs. I was like, I steered away from it. And that's the kind of things that I try to impose on my kids so that they can try to, make the right choices and not go down the wrong way.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's conclude this. Let's start with just briefly how you feel about the evaluations in the workplace and if it's bullshit.
I already told you, evaluation workplaces, they're bullshit. If a
Yeah.
person not going, if an office is not gonna come out there and evaluate you like one on one, it's bullshit. What about you?
Yeah. If they're not gonna go and sit down with you for that's what I think should happen. They should be at your job for like a whole week and see how you doing and what you doing. And if it's hot as fuck, then they're gonna get hot as fuck too. They're gonna get out the fucking office. Unless they're able to do something like that, then you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me shit about what I'm doing. So, but a lot of people ain't gonna do that shit. So, yeah, I think evaluations need to stop because it's demotivating and they fucking workers up. So, quit doing that shit. Okay, and then yeah, what do you think, or what do ungrateful ass kids deserve? Will, go ahead and a brief summary.
Well, they need a foot in their ass. Just to be
Mm,
honest with you, a lot of these kids that don't have no respect for older or for their elders, they just disrespectful as fuck. They need to be chastised and be disciplined. I mean, a lot of times that's all you need, really. You can't do anything else about it. Just being ungrateful. I mean, you just want more. No matter how much you give, you want more. That's not acceptable.
yeah,
Yeah.
I never think
I know
kids need their ass whooped. Never, ever, ever, ever. We can
some
talk
of them
about that
need,
next
some of
time.
them need it.
No, 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 no.
We're gonna
Don't
talk
say
about it on another one. We're gonna talk about that on another episode.
yeah, they don't need to be hit at all. I'm gonna tell you what they need, and I'm gonna tell you what they need. But what do they deserve? I think they deserve to be given less, maybe, right? I think if a kid is ungrateful and you just keep giving it, giving and giving and giving, that won't help the situation. I don't think they need to be hit, but I do think that maybe they should start having to work for what they have, and if they don't work for it, then they just won't have it. But I do think it's up to the parents too to like make them want to work and uh, maybe giving them an opportunity to work for some shit instead of forcing it. So that way you're kind of like, hey, if you do this, you can get this, and if you don't want to do this, then you ain't gonna have it, and it ain't gonna bother me because it's gonna get done either way. But a lot of parents probably don't think that. But yeah, so that's it. This is Project Perspective. If anybody listened this far, this is episode 2. We appreciate y'all for listening. You can find me on Instagram at Visionary Tane, uh, Facebook X Visionary Tane, and you can also find the podcast on Instagram at Visionary Tane and TikTok Visionary Tane. Or I'm sorry, Project Perspective Pod. What am I talking about? The podcast you can find
You stuck on
Instagram
this.
Visionary. Not just the visionary part, man. I'm just anyway. Project Perspective Pod
Pod.
on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
what you got, Will? What can they find?
Oh man, just Project Perspective Pod. Just
There
on all the handles. So got any questions? You got comments? Leave them down in the feed. We go through them, we check them, and respond back.
Yeah, y'all can DM us. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if some shit we should change, and especially let us know if you disagree with some shit because we know y'all won't agree with us on everything. But
We up for a good debate. Me and Tane love a debate. So
yeah, yeah, we trying to learn. We trying to learn from each other. We trying to learn from y'all. So hit us up.
all right, that's in episode 2. I'll be blessed.